Want to know exactly how much a whole year of full-time van travel all over Europe and Morocco costs? Hey, I'm Kat, and exactly 1 year ago I set off on what was supposed to be a 12-month sabbatical in my self-built van with my boyfriend. We're currently on the west coast of Morocco though, and I have to show you this view. Park apps do not get much better than this. Cue, Instagrammable, running off into the distant shot. Still can't get over how beautiful it is here, but let's jump in. I'm going to be referring to my phone quite a lot just to get all the facts and figures, so that's why I might be looking down, but first thing first, I think I should address this on my face. It probably just looks like a spot, but basically I bought some trousers from the souk in Essaouira in Morocco, and they're beautiful trousers, but honestly I think they're out to kill me. Basically what's happening, because they're quite like a loose linen trouser, my one foot is getting caught in the leg of the other leg trouser and I'm face planting. So today I fell out of the van and slid down the road on my face. So yeah, that's that. But let's dive into this. So first things first, when I bought the van, the plan wasn't necessarily to go and live in it. It was the dream, but not necessarily the plan. So my plan was always to take a sabbatical from my job. If you don't know what a sabbatical is, because I've been asked this a few times on my social media, so I don't know if it's a European thing more specifically, but it's sort of an unpaid leave from your job. Some jobs might pay, that would be amazing, but I think more commonly it's unpaid, and it's pretty common to do it for 6 to 12 months. Some companies might offer more, but I think that's the common thing. The company I was working for offered an easy 6-month or 12-month, and I think they did offer something that was up to 3 years, but it wasn't the promise of your job back. It was maybe a promise that you could get an interview within the same company or something. So I decided to take a 12-month sabbatical, long story short. So I needed to save for that, and I estimated how much I needed to save based on my generic monthly spending at the time, how much fuel I thought we might use traveling different countries, estimations on ferries I thought we might take, and a whole bunch of things. And what I estimated was around £8,000. So I know that sounds like a lot of money, and it did take me a while to save this, and I also moved in with my boyfriend for a year while I was building the van and working full-time and saving. I've always lived pretty below my means, and I've always been pretty organised with my bank account and splitting it into different categories. So I had separate accounts for my bills, my savings, my spending money, travel money, and I even had a spares account for like car repairs and any unexpected payments. So every month when I got my paycheck, I divvy everything up after I put the money in the bills account to all the other accounts for what I had left. And I guess towards the end of the van build, I was definitely putting more money into the travel account than I was any of the others. And I was doing this for years, way before I even built the van. But I had vans before this van. I'd done micro conversions before, so me and Rid, between us, have kind of upgraded over the years from like car campers to my VW Caddies and Rid's Vauxhall Vivaro. So we'd had experience building out vans before and a little bit of knowledge, but nothing on this scale with like the electrics and the plumbing and everything that's gone into this one. It's really like tiny home scale. So this was all very new to me. So I guess while I'm being transparent, I might as well tell you how much I spent on the van and the build. So the van is a 2014 Vauxhall Movano medium wheelbase, extra high top, and it had, I think, bang on 100,000 miles exactly when I bought it, and I paid £5,500 for it, which I think was a very good price in 2021. It did have a little dent in the sliding door and a bit of a sticky second gear, but neither of those things have really given us any hassle in the 2+ years that I've owned it. The conversion cost just under £5,000, and I did actually make a whole other YouTube video breaking down all of those costs into different categories. So if you're a little bit more interested about the cost involved in the van build itself, you can check out that video. But back to the cost of travel, because that's what this is supposed to be about. So I'm going to break this down into a variety of different categories because the van is technically mine, but Rid decided to come along for the travels towards the end of the build. So the van expenses I actually do pay myself. I pay all the insurance and the tax and everything. Maybe we'll change that in the future, but I kind of like having the van as my thing because Rid does have a flat back home in the UK, whereas this is like, this van is all I have. So these figures I'm about to give you are for the whole year, and I'm going to start with the ones that are not split first. So insurance, £465. That's for insurance with Brentaker, who do insure the inside and the outside of the van. Tax, which comes to about, that's road tax by the way, that comes to £290. MOT and repairs, £485, and I'm pretty stoked on that. Good van, I love you. My phone bill, which came to £480 for the year. That sounds like a lot. And then this one was painfully unexpected too. And this is everything else that I spent on in my like Barclays account, because we have a joint account that I'll get to in a minute. But on my Barclays account, which is basically just Netflix, iCloud, and anything that I buy like via PayPal or Amazon or anything from when we've been in the UK, because we did spend a few months in the UK over the last year as well because of Brexit and weddings and stuff like that. So everything that I spent came to £1,200. That sounds like a lot to me. But anyway, that brings my solo total of things that I paid all by myself, that sounded weird, was £2,920. And now I'm going to give you the things that are not split, and I'm going to give you the full total for both of us first, and then I'll split it in half to give you my cost. So, by the way, these categories are what our Starling bank card gave us. Yeah, so getting on to the joint card situation, we have a Starling card, which is great for when you're traveling abroad because it gives you the best exchange rates, there's no fees, and it does actually give you a pretty good breakdown. So it's given me a good breakdown for the whole last year in various different categories, and I'm going to give you the categories that they use, but I'll try and explain to you what is within those categories, if that makes sense. So transport then, and this includes fuel and ferries, and even like bus tickets and train. We haven't been on a plane. We haven't been on a plane for a whole 12 months. But that's going completely off topic. I meant to say train, like things like metro when we've been in various cities in Europe where we parked up the van further afield and then got the metro in. Anyway, rambling. Transport came to £4,500. And food between the two of us, and this is food specifically that we've bought on the card, and that's £2,270. And when I say food, sorry, I mean groceries. Cash out then, and this includes quite a bit because pretty much everything in Morocco is still dealt in cash, so we're having to get cash out to buy pretty much all our fuel, all of our food, anything we've bought, but also cash that we've got out in Europe as well. So this is all the cash that we've got out of cash machines in 12 months between the two of us, which is £1,526. Okay, eating out then, and this doesn't include like when we've eaten out and got cash and stuff as well. This number feels small, but then we really don't spend a lot, and we don't spend a lot of money eating out either. So this for a whole 12 months only came to £410. That seems really low, but I think most of the eating out that we've done in the last 12 months has been on tapa in Spain, and like beer and wine in Spain is super cheap. Shopping then, I guess this is just shopping, just buying stuff. £450. Entertainment, I think this is mainly bars, but also excursions too. We went snowboarding So I'm assuming that's going to be in there, like entry tickets to places as well. So that came to £425. And then a miscellaneous, because there was a few categories that I didn't really understand and I didn't remember what the things were. So miscellaneous, I could detect a couple things actually, and that was the gas, when we'd filled up with gas. Actually, that was the only thing that I could figure out from this category, and that came to roughly £100. Okay, so that total of all of our joint things for the whole year came to £9,681. So half of that comes to £4,840.50. So my grand total, including all the solo stuff from before, comes to a grand total of, drumroll, £7,760.50. So that is darn near close to the £8,000 that I estimated. Fuel has been a lot more expensive because when I calculated those estimations for the £8,000 initially, fuel was much cheaper. So I think we spent a lot more money on fuel than I anticipated. I think we've also got more ferries than I anticipated, but I hate saying this because I feel like it tempts fate. The van has been very good to us, and I think, estimate a little bit more money for any repairs we might need. But also saying that the van does actually need a few things now. She's due, I think, front brakes. I think I heard them squeaking the other day, although they've stopped squeaking, but I really want to get that done ASAP, and she really needs a service. So hopefully we can get those things done in Morocco where it's a little bit cheaper, but those things are due. And I will say, if you didn't already gather from me saying that we're in Morocco and this is when my sabbatical would have been up, I decided to officially quit the sabbatical and my job 6 months in, just because I realised pretty quickly that 1 year wasn't going to be enough. So I have now started working on the road, and if you're interested in knowing how I'm now funding my travels and how much I earned in my first year, let me know in the comments. I have also bought a few things business related, like camera gear that I did buy from the money that I've already earned while on the road, which I haven't included in that original £8,000. So yeah, hit subscribe and let me know if you want more info on that. Drop it in the comments. I also feel like now that we've been in the van for a year, I definitely need to do some videos just telling you what we still love 12 months on, what we maybe would change 12 months on, and maybe even just show you around the van a little bit now with a realistic 12-month on tour of all of the wear and tear, because you know, full transparency here. But yeah, that's all from me now. I'm gonna go and enjoy this insanely beautiful spot, and I'll see you soon.